Hi everyone, this is Karen and I'm with Inspired by Graham, and today I'm bringing you a pre-recorded video as I've got an opportunity to do some trail maintenance on a local hiking trail. So I wanted to get that done before the day gets too hot. And so here we go. So I have been using the Floral Charm Designer Series paper. The item number for it is 166125, and it's brand new. It was available for customers starting yesterday, which was July 1st, 2025. So I am making a bunch more journals, decorating them. Very simple. The only thing is you'll need to measure every single one because every single one can be different, and I'm going to show you what happened here. You can't really tell only if you look really closely, but I was off about a 1/16 of an inch here, so you can see the front cover there. I'm not going to worry about it. I think the fancy ribbon and the beautiful paper sells itself. So all I did was decorate the front and the back side. On the inside, I've got that ribbon here, and I'm going to call it good. I'm going to sell these at my craft fairs this year and see how it goes. So my goal today is to show you how to decorate. I've got, let's see, 2, 4, 5 here. These are all of the designs on the paper, and I want to make one for every single paper. So I am going to do this in real time. So I've got all of these. The only supplies I'm using are tear and tape, our trimmer, my bone folder, my ruler, and some mini glue dots. I've also got some scrap paper and a pen over there to take my measurements, and I've got a bunch of ribbon. So I pulled out a bunch of ribbon here this morning, and some of it is Stampin' Up and some of it is not. Some is my grandmother's ribbon and some is retired ribbon. So the 3 on the left side here, these are both the same here, but these are current ribbons. This is the gold 3/8 of an inch mesh ribbon. And then also we have the gold open weave trim. And then this one is a retired ribbon. It's Pool Party. The name on it was Crinkle Ribbon. And then these are my grandmother's ribbons. And I thought maybe this one here will go with that pattern there. So I'm going to use that. And I've got some ribbon scissors as well. So we're going to get started. Like I said, we need to measure every single one because they can be off. So I'm going to grab my ruler and I'll start that process right now. All right, so I'm mass producing these journals, and what I like to do is the same step every single time. So my brain is like, okay, this is what I need to do for this one, that one, and what have you. So I'm gonna just grab some paper here, and we are going to measure every single one. And I'll try to bring the ruler up a little bit. So just make sure your ruler's right at the end there. So this one here is 5 and almost an 1/8. I'm going to call it 5 1/8 because I don't want it to get short or be on the short side. So 5 1/8 by, let's see how tall. So 7, very close, 7 and 15/16. So 7 15/16, and that was the same size as the other one, but I still came up short for some reason. All right, so then we're gonna do this. We're gonna put this in here, and then we're gonna put this back in here, and we're gonna move on to the next one. So this is like consistency. My brain is only thinking about one thing, and it's measuring these little, oh, look at this one. This one's way different. See what I mean about getting your ruler out? 5 and 3/16. That's an odd number. By This one's about the same, so 7 15/16. So we'll just slide that in there. And let's see what this one brings us. 5. Let's see. 5 3/16 by. Now this one is very close to 7 7/8, but I'm going to go up to 7 15/16. I'll rip that one off. And here's the green one. I love these journals. They're very nice journals. I don't like to use cheap journals because sometimes they fall apart, and I don't want my crafting projects to fall apart. So this one is way different. So it's 5 and I'm going to call it 1/16 by 7 15/16. So that measurement seems to be consistent. And then the last one here. Well, that one's 5 1/4. Oh my goodness. 5 1/4 by, let's see if we can make this the same length. So 7 15/16. 7 15/16. Okay, so we have that one. Now we're going to flip it over. I know this is the back side because it says paper age here. I am going to do the same thing because sometimes this binding here can be a little bit off. So that's 5 1/4, and I know the height. So I know this one is the same size. So I'm going to put a little check mark on that and slide it over there. And then we'll do this one as well. I'm going to only measure, wow, this one's really different. So it says 5 1/16 on the front. You can see, so this one is way over compared to this one here. So very important. So I'm going to put an F here for front and then B for back. And then this is let's see, 5 3/8. So we'll stick that one in there. It does take a little time doing the measuring. However, once you get this and you're doing it consistently and not forgetting your paper. All right, so that's the front. If you don't want to watch me measuring, then just fast forward. But I'm doing this in real time so you can see how long it takes me to do this. Now this one is 5, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 5/16. And I'll put a B there for the back side. So this one looks like it's 5 1/4, and the front is 5 3/16. Oh wait, I already did that one, didn't I? Oh no, I did not. This is, excuse that measurement, that was from before. My first one I did, my sample. So let's see again, this was 5 1/4. So 5 1/4, and that's the back side. And then my favorite one, I love this pattern, so I'm making it first. and I didn't have any other colors that went very well. So I chose the blue because blue does go with those colors. Now these are not Stampin' Up! Colors. They're the colors that they come in, but I like the variety of colors. And I usually buy these in bulk to save a little bit of money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 16ths. And that front side was 5 1/8. So F for front, B for back, and it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 16ths. So 5 and 5 16ths. Looks like we're working with 16ths of an inches right now. Okay, so now I'm gonna cut my paper. So I need a little bit, oh, I just dropped that one. A little bit more room, and then we're gonna be cutting these next. So let me find some space here and we will start cutting. Okay, so I have my first design of the floral charm. This is the front side, and this is the back side. Of course, I'm not going to use that side. And this is directional paper, so I've got to be careful about that. I'm going to slide it into my trimmer, and I know it needs to be 7 15ths, 15 16ths. So I've got to open up my arm extension. This is a brand new trimmer, so it's a little stiff. Okay, so 7 15 16ths, which is the last tick mark before 8 inches. And I'm going to trim it. I'm saving this for another project because we're not going to throw this away. And then I'm going to rotate this. So this is 5 1/8. I'm going to flip this over so I don't get them confused. I'm going to write F on there. And then on the back side, we need 5 5 16ths. So that's 5 tick marks after the 5 inch. So 1, 2, 3, whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm also going to save this one for another project. So these are all set, ready to go. I'm going to slide them into this one along with you know, I don't need this anymore, so I'm going to chuck that into my recycle bin. And I'm going to put it off to the side. Generally, my desk has a lot more room, but since I am videotaping, it's a little bit harder to work in the space that I have. So let's take that one out. I'm going to put that one over there. This is a beautiful side as well. So I would use this side, but for this sake, I'm using all floral for this project. So we know that every single cover is the same length. So 7 15 16ths. Again, we'll save this piece and I'll just stack it over there. And then the front is 5 1/4 by, 5 1/4 inches. And I put a check mark on there because they're the same. I measured that one, I think, last night. So at least I hope it is. We'll find out. So we've got that one over there. I'm going to chuck that piece. In my next pattern here, I'm using a green spine notebook there. And directional again. The back side is this beautiful Blackberry Bliss design. You can't go wrong with this paper, for sure. You can't. This will, I know my journals are going to sell because of the paper. It's not because of how I made them or anything. People love them and they love pretty paper. All right, so this one is strange. So 5 1/16 for the front side. And I'll make an F on that. And then 5 3/8. And I'll put that in the safe pile. This one I don't have to mark because I already have one that's already marked. Put that in there. And it looks looks like we have 2 more to go. So again, mass producing, highly suggest you do the same thing. It might get boring. However, I'm going to guarantee you, you'll get done quicker. All right, so this one also is directional. So 5 and 3, or no, 7 and, I should know this size by now. 7 and 15/16. And then the front is 5 and 3/16. So 1, 2, 3 tick marks. Mark this the front. Oh, I like this side too, and I would definitely make a journal with that one. And then the back side is 5 and 5/16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then our last pattern, I chose the blue spine because there's lots of Night of Navy in here. All right, 7 and 15/16. And then 5 and 3/16. 1, 2, 3. Mark that with an F. And then 5 1/4. Okay, let's see how well I did. All right, so my next step, again, this is going to be in real time, so if you don't want to watch all of this tear and tape go on, then fast forward. So what I love to use tear and tape, it's an extremely strong adhesive, and hopefully I don't get my head in here. I need to get as close as I can and not go over the edge of the blue spine. And I'm going to do this for every single one. I'm just snapping that off the edge right now. Once hopefully, you know, my head's not in here. Once I get or peel off the backings, then I'll fold the adhesive on top of each other. So I've got all the edges, and then I like to run one side over, across, and then just break up this one. Okay, I'm going to go back and adhere the adhesive down once that's going to be my next step. So again, we're going to add all of our tear and tape. When I am making journals or what have you, I love to mass produce because I've got all of the supplies out in front of me, and I'll just take an evening, set aside an evening, and just find a good TV show or a movie or listen to the radio, that type of thing. I can do this outside. Oops, so that one I was off a little bit. So let me just tear this off. I can't wait. My husband is building a gazebo, which is going to be screened in. So I can take my craft supplies outside and work in where the bugs can't get me right now, where it's like crazy with mosquitoes and gnats, but I know that'll change in probably just another week or two. All right, so that is the first one. You may want to fast forward, because this is going to be a long process, but I am also doing this in real time so I can see how long it takes me to make. I think it's 5 of them. You could also make these with a friend, relative. They could be doing one step. So the next step is to take my bone folder and flatten down the adhesive. So if you team up with someone, they can do that next step for you. You can also put your kids to work. So if you have young ones, preteen, tweens, teenagers, or grown children, they can help you out, or grown adults, I should say, or even your grandkids. I know my grandkids could take a bone folder and rub it over top of the adhesive. Put them to work. They'd love to work with you. I guess you can consider this a live, since I'm pre-recording it. However, it's real time, so I would normally do this in a live, but great opportunity today. I'm trying to get out there as quick as I can, because it does heat up so quickly in the summertime. Not sure why it doesn't do that in the wintertime, right? Though I have to say, our winters have been a little bit warmer than they used to be, like say 5 years ago. We actually rarely get anything below 0 anymore. Oh, I didn't get as close as I could there, so hopefully that adhesive will be okay. Throw me a comment. Where are you watching from? That's always very helpful for me. Also, what is your favorite craft fair project to make, and why? I guess, of course, we know why, because you sell it. But why did you choose that particular item to sell? Other than you know it's going to sell. A lot of times I just enjoy creating lots and lots of, I'm doing the writing tablets, and that is so easy to make. And I know I'm going to make a nice little profit on that. So I am just trying to make as many as I can before my next craft fair. All right, I've got 2 more to go. I just looked at my phone that's recording, and I'm at 12 minutes and it said 33 seconds, so not too bad. I will put a link to the journals that I use in all of the Stampin' Up! Products. And I am running a special. I have not emailed it out yet, so you still have time to join my email list if you haven't already done so. I am going to be giving away a completed journal. Like, it could be one of these. It could be something else with a different design of paper. And I will ask you if you want a masculine journal or feminine journal. And I think I have some kids paper, although it may be retired. Oh no, I have the Adhering, amazingly, Adhering something. I haven't used that yet. I'll have to look at the patterns, but if I know I've got some retired designer paper, why not use it, right? That is more of a kid's version, like dinosaur. I think I've got some dinosaur paper and, things that would work for kids. So with get over there, with a $75 order from my Stampin' Up website, and that $75 is gross. So before your sales tax and shipping and any Stampin' rewards that you may use. So that final price needs to be $75 or above. That way, I can offer it when an order is placed of $75 or above. I can afford to mail these out to you because, you know, the mailing on this is probably going to be, I'm going to guess over $5 each. So a $75 order seems appropriate. And if you go to like 150, you'd get 2. So in increments of $75, I will send you as many as you earn. And this special will run until July 14th, 2025. And I'll reach out to you to ask you what style you would like. And of course, I always send my customers a thank you card. And your order does qualify for your own Stampin' Rewards. So after a $20 order, you earn Stampin' Rewards. So that'll be 10% of your order. So $75 order, you will get $7.50 from Stampin' Up on your next. It's like a coupon system. And they keep that amount in on your account, so you always know how many points you still have left. So you could put $7.50 towards on your next order. All right, so now I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm pressing this adhesive right into that chipboard that's on the front of your cover and the back side. It's getting all of the air bubbles out, so I know that that adhesive is going to stick right on there, and you can tell it's pretty flat now. The big test is going to be, did I cut that paper correctly? And if I didn't, you can take a sponge and find the closest color to the edge and just sponge it to make it more of a vintage look. This step goes, oh, I don't know if I did the other side. Yes, I did. This step goes so much faster than taping it all down. So taping it all down is the longest process during this whole, the journal. And I think I might be going into the wrong pile. No, maybe not. And our last one here. And I'm at 18 minutes. I'm going to try to keep track. Okay, so I've got that. I'm done with this. I'm going to put this away because I don't need it anymore. And I'm going to grab my piercing tool. And I am going to be working on the front cover and the back cover. So I like to take all of these off. Let me grab my waste bucket here. You're going to have to, unless you throw them on the floor, if you want to be really, really quick, throw them on the floor. Otherwise, grab a basket, and I've got just a waste basket, a really tiny one from Stampin' Storage that I keep on my desk, make it real handy. So the shiny part here is that adhesive. All right, so double checking my direction of my journal because I don't want to put the paper on upside down because it's directional. So I've got the paper rage at the bottom. I'm going to turn it this way at an angle. I'm going to find my front. So it's this one here. And I just like to find one corner. So I'm looking at the left corner. And then my fingers over here. And then I'm just gonna, I'm eyeballing it right up there. So it's in that, actually we do need that bone holder again. I lied, or I forgot. So now I'm just gonna go like this, because everything else should fall in place. And see, it looks like I'm off a little bit. And you know why? I bet this is not cut the same. I'm not going to worry about this tiny, tiny piece right there. I'm just not. If people don't like it, they don't have to buy it, right? It's handmade, and that's what's the best thing about it. We are at 20 minutes and 41 seconds. Okay, double check. I've got that at the bottom. Directional, it's going the correct way. Let me check my adhesive because I forgot to roll that adhesive over on that front cover. So this just extends over the edge. So we just roll it back on top of it, each other, and we're going to do that same process. I'm not going to show you how I package these just because I'm just showing you the main steps to create your front and back cover. All right, that looks really good. I know I can feel a little bit of adhesive on there. I would take my eraser or adhesive eraser and just remove that. But that one is done. And now we'll move on to the next one. Again, I'm checking the direction. If you would rather to try this without this designer paper and one that's non-directional for your first, journal, I would suggest just using a non-directional paper until you get the hang of it. But this is a really easy project. Doesn't take a lot of thinking whatsoever. And I kind of like those kind of projects. All right, so let's see. Now I'm going to go back and look at my adhesive. Excuse my thumbnail there. I had a little battle with my pretty peacock ink pad last night, and it just was crazy. All right, F is for front, and I'm going to look at the back side because this is directional. So I know this is the top, and this is the top. Again, I'm going to just double check. I'm going to turn this. No, I can't do it that way. I have to do it on the side. I really like the colors on this one. It's a perfect binding cover to pull out these colors here. Now I'm already thinking ahead. My next step is going to be my ribbon, and I'm already thinking what ribbon I want on each one. I really like this one. All right, so that's 2, and we are at 24 minutes and 24 seconds. How ironic is that? All right, this is our front. Again, if you don't want me, or if you don't want to watch all of these being adhered to, then just fast forward to the video. I know you guys are going to ask, what will I price these at? Well, I haven't really taken into consideration anything yet, but in the past, I have sold these for $8 a piece, or 2 for, it would be 8, 16. So probably 2 for $15 or 14, depends on how, what kind of discount I want to give. Generally speaking, it's either $1 off or $2 off. This one looks really good with that spine color as well. So I'm just thinking, how can you get to a $75 order? So the designer paper is $12.50. The adhesive, I believe, is $7. You guys do the math. I'm just going to tell you because I can't do the math at the same time, and I really stink at math. Paper crafting actually has helped my math skills, especially my ruler skills. But all right, so we've got $12.50 for the designer paper. Oh, and don't forget, we have some Christmas paper that is on special. I don't know if it's still available, but if you go to the last chance list on my website, which is inspiredbygraham.com, check out the last chance, because there has been some really beautiful paper on there, especially if you want to make Christmas journals. Those always sell really nicely as well. You can make more of a profit by using our sale items. I know there was some ribbon on there. I'm not going to put any embellishments, meaning rhinestones or pearls on these. I'm going to just leave them as is with the ribbon and see how they sell. If they don't sell, then I'll add some embellishments and maybe adjust my price accordingly, because the embellishments are not free to us, right? They do, they are part of that expense. So make sure you've got all bases covered there when you're pricing. All right. Find my front, which, did I forget to mark this one? Oh boy. I did. Uh-oh. All right. Well, 5 1/4. I'm gonna try this one here. All right, back to the products in your $75 order. Again, my website is inspiredbygraham.com, and you can hit the shop now button, and that will bring you right to my Stampin' Up website. And I'd really appreciate your order, you guys. It does truly help me bring more videos to you. Oh, this one's way off. Oh gosh. So you can see right here, it's pretty far off. So what I'm going to do with that is I'll probably just sponge the edge with more of maybe a Highland Heather, or probably Misty Moonlight, just a really soft blue color. I'm not going to do that on the video, but that's what I would have done or will do. All right, so back to that Stampin' Up order. So $12.50 for the designer paper. If you don't have a bone folder, then add that one. I want to say, I don't have the prices off the top of my head, the true prices, but I think it's $11, I think. And then ribbon. So ribbon is mostly $8.50 to $9. Sometimes $8, sometimes more. Like I think that braided trim that I showcased the other day was more like 10. Tear and tape adhesive is $7. Oh, this one's off too. So this one, see, I didn't measure the height. So guess what it gave me? It gave me some short covers. So I guess we'll need to definitely measure because this one is off. At least it wasn't my favorite one. All right, so this is my favorite one. So I am going to just double check. Oh, this one's going to be slightly off too. Well, I don't have another sheet of this, so I can't cut a new piece. So Karen just made a mistake. So I guess most of them were 7 and what was it, 7 and 15/16, but not all of these. So I just learned a lesson. I have to do an extra step now, and that is sponging my edges on some of these that are short. That takes time, takes supplies, ink. I mean, not a lot of ink, but it does certainly take my ink supplies. All right, that's the front cover. Well, at least the top and the bottom are consistently off. Well, this one's hardly off. That one, see, it's always this side over here. So I'm wondering, it seems like it's consistent on these journals. So I'm not going to cut my paper at a slight angle. That doesn't make any sense. So it's just going to have to be another step. And you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. I am not going to be sponging. I am going to take my eraser and erase the adhesive off the tiny edge that's showing and call it good. All right, fold those over. Bottom is there. To avoid being short, you could also cut your paper maybe a 1/16 of an inch over, and then just take your paper snips and trim off. All right, so there we go. We've got 1, 2. That one's really pretty too. Reminds me of Orchid Oasis. 3, 4, and 5. All right, so then we are at 33 minutes and 9 seconds. Look at all the waste I have in here, which is good. It's not on the floor. Another thing you could do, if you were extremely far off, you could take one of the strips, I've got one of these longer, and maybe just put a very like 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch right here. Again, your ribbon is, if you're off right here, your ribbon's going to cover it up. I'm not going to worry about it. But even over here, if you were off, you could put a small strip, maybe 1/2 inch, of course, probably a 1/2 inch, and get right to that edge if you're, concerned about it. I'm not going to worry about it. It's handmade. It's not perfect, but it's okay. All right, so now all the ribbon I pulled, again, these are Stampin' Up. Some of them are current, some of them are retired. I bought some on sale, and then I've got my grandmother's ribbon. So I like flashy ribbon because it catches people's eyes. I would have picked probably a more of a navy color. Actually, let me see. I thought I had some. No, it's not really fancy enough. So I'm going to take from the orange here, which is Timid Tiger, and I'm going to use a gold ribbon. So it's either going to be this one or this one. And I'll try to use all of these ribbons. Again, I'm making sure that this is the correct way. It's going this way. I always like to make sure my top is there. I'm going to take this one right here, this ribbon, or trim. It's called trim. And I'm going to use this. And I like to go over the edge about 3 inches, because that way I know I'm going to have enough. You can use a knot bow or a bow. Also make sure you're on the inside that it's flat and it's not twisted over. I like to create a knot. And then my next step is to just fuss with this a little bit. I want it over that little binding piece, just a tiny bit, not a lot. I'd like to have this knot end up right at the seam. And now I'm going to create a bow, hopefully on the first try. Good enough. I'm going to angle cut this, fold it and angle cut. And then I'm going to wait to do the next step, and I'm going to tack this down with some mini glue dots. If you'd rather do it at the same time, then I did not get my mini glue dots out, of course. Here we are. I use just I keep all of them from my kits and Piper Pumpkin, and I use them up. So I will put 3. So 1 underneath where that knot's going to go, and then 1 on each side. So I'll end up with 3 of these little glue dots. And then I'm just gonna remove those. And then press this down. And now I have one done. The only thing you'll need to do is, if you are selling these, you need to add the copyright logo on there. In our current Angel Policy stamp set, you could add this to your order too. It is called Sharing Loving Crafting, and the item number here is 164902. I believe it's like around $22. All right, so that one is complete. I'm gonna just double check my tails, and I'm gonna cut this one just a little bit shorter. All right, this one's complete. Except for I gotta go back and erase that adhesive. And I love how that is on the inside. You can do a die cut over here if you wanted to make an area where you can sign, but and a lot of times I just leave them blank. So now this one, I don't want to use, this has got some orange in it, so let's try a different ribbon. Let's try this one right here. Actually, I want to try to see if I can use up what's left on this bolt. Same process, making sure it's flat on the inside, and then I go all the way over 2 to 3 inches. Hold that in place, and then we'll just cut this off. Get it close to that seam. And I like my bows in the middle. Got my knot. You can leave it like this and just cut down the tails if you want. But I think adding a bow really does set it off. Now the tail, where is the tail? Oh my gosh, how did I get them on both sides? Who knows? Let me try that one again. Let me try from this side. That was too funny. I think it's because my ribbon got twisted. That's okay. My glue dot will secure it the way I want to have it secured. I'm just gonna refresh those tails and put that one over there. Next up is this one. So I haven't used this one. That's my grandmother's ribbon. Pool party will not go with this, so I don't think, oh, maybe it will. But next to that green, this could be something. And that can be something too. This is going to be hard to create. Oops, there's my little quilting needle here. This is going to be hard to make a bow, but it is certainly pretty. Let's see, because I've got another one here. And this one actually I think is going to work best because it's got that, it's a little bit like vanilla in the background. So I'm going to use this one, and this was my favorite pattern. I'm keeping this one because this is my grandma's ribbon and I don't have very much of it left. Let's see if I've got enough. So again, I've got it flat. Let's bring it over. I know I'm wasting a little bit of ribbon, but it's so much easier for me to tie a bow if I extend my ribbon just a little bit. This one, I may not do a bow. I might just do a knot. It's very thick. And I need to make sure when I tie this that I'm going to see the front side. This is so old. I love using her ribbon and I don't have much left. I don't care if that purple shows. Oh, that's so pretty. I'm just going to leave that as is because a bow is going to be quite bulky. I will keep this because I know I can use it on something else. I'll just put it in my bin. And that's so super pretty. All right, that one will get a glue dot. And let's see, just use that one. And then this is my grandma's ribbon too. So let's use this one just to show you some options, because then we've used every single ribbon and you can look at them. I mean, you can't purchase this now because it's not available anymore, but this is pool party. So if you do have some pool party fancy ribbon in your stash, then that color will work with this pattern here and a few other patterns too. Try to do, I don't know if a bow is going to work with this because it's kind of a crinkled ribbon. I'll try to make a bow and see what it looks like. I'm at 43 minutes and 26 seconds. Oh, that is beautiful. I'm going to make a bow. And I want it angled that way so that all works. All right, our last one, and that I was going to use this ribbon here. This is old, you can tell. I don't even know how much it cost. There's no price on it. And look, it even shows you how to make a bow. Isn't that funny? This has a right and a wrong side. So again, flat. extend over 2 to 3 inches. This one is really stiff. It's so old. See, look at that. It's so stiff. And I don't think, let's see what a bow will look like. It may be okay. Let me see if I can fluff these up. Yep, that actually will work. It's got a short tail on it, but that's okay. All right, so next step is I'm going to glue dot. I'm going to add 3 glue dots to every single one. And then I'll remove the backings and just press down the bow, and then we are all set. Okay, that one's good. This one, thought about maybe bringing it up higher, but I think it'll be okay if I just leave it there. Again, 3. Our kits now have these mini glue dots that are a little bit, traditionally a little bit bigger than our mini glue dots that you buy in a box. And I really like that. This one is almost good enough, but I'm gonna just add some just kind of safety. Let's make, I don't want this kind of, you know, untying. So this is, the glue dots also add a kind of a security for your ribbon, so it won't untie. You can kind of try it, turn it that way. That way you can see more of the ribbon. I'm going to trim this down about 1/2 inch. I think this is our last one, you guys. I think it's going to be close to an hour. And I've made 5. That one needs to be moved. It's too low. So I'm going to bend this up a little bit. Hopefully. I don't want to retie that bow because it's looking good. I might have to just, oh, there we go. There, right there. That's where I want it. Okay, so let's take a look at them real quick, and then I will call it good. I'm just gonna get my other one that I had. Oops, I'm sorry, I hit the camera. All right, so this one is my first one I made. And then here's this one. Hold on, I gotta do a better presentation. All right. We'll try to mix up the binding colors too. All right, so here's this one. And here is this one, my grandma's ribbon. Here's the more purplish theme with my grandma's ribbon. Here's that pool party ribbon. And I am going to move this. It's totally bothering me. And when something bothers you enough that it keeps staying on your mind, then fix it. All right, there, that's better. And then we have this one. And finally, the more fall themes. So I really love doing these. It is 49 minutes and 29 seconds left. I do need to stamp the angel policy still, but I will do that another time because I've got to get moving. It's getting warm already outside. And I will go back and just fine tune these with my adhesive eraser because there's a little bit of adhesive over here. I might tidy up the ends depending on where the paper falls. But I really enjoy making these. I would sell them for $8 or your special. But that's my demographic area. Maybe some of you can get away with selling them for $10. I'm not really sure. But remember, my demographic area is not your demographic area. So you have to price accordingly. And also make sure you add in a few dollars for your time. I didn't make these for free, right? So my next project is going to come back to you. And it may be a craft fair item that I've already done. But I want to use up all these scraps. Okay, they're great sizes. So I know I can use these for something. And my next video will probably be using this, but not guaranteed. All right, please place an order. I'm asking you, please place an order for at least $75. That way I can send one. It may not be one of these. It may be a different one. You guys tell me, email me a feminine, masculine, or child theme, and I'll make it for you and get it out to you as soon as I can. All right, you guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I am going to have some breakfast and hitting the outside. All right, have a great day.